Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. Happy Sunday to you. And it is once again, and as always, a pleasure to be in your ear listening presence. And look, y'all know I can only account this to one person, and that is to the person that I love and serve, and that is my God, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now listen, I just came from church and I had a wonderful time at this church service. The hospitality was superb, and I just thank you. And I needed it. Someone invited me to their church last night, and of course, like most of us do who are tired from the week, we want to take a day of rest, and most of the time we want to do it on a Sunday. And I did. I felt like I wanted to rest, but let me tell you, I could not rest past, I think I woke up around 8 o'clock. So I was like, I'm going to this church service. And I went to the church service and I had an awesome time, a wonderful sermon, and they fed me, y'all, and they let me take some food out. Oh God, I was blessed this here morning. Thank you. So look, I wanted to talk about judging people, because a lot of times we tend to allow people to influence us to judge other people, and we don't know that individual. Okay? And so I want to say to each and every one of you that's listening, judge people for yourself. Now, they may have done something to another individual, but we don't know the source of it. We don't know why it happened, okay, or how it happened. You don't even know if that individual did something to them first, because most of the time when we tell these type of stories, we tell half of the story. And then what they say is a 2-3 sides to every story, right? Your side, their side, and the correct side, or something to that effect. And so we tend to tell half of the story. We don't tell how the story actually developed. So let's stop judging people based on what somebody else has told us, based on their story, because a lot of times we are missing out. There are some fantastic individuals out here that have been harshly judged because of the opinions of others. I'm one. I would say I'm one, as a female, I guess I'm supposed to be humble and docile and, not as strong-headed as I am. But if you know my background, I can't help but to be the way that I am, because I was, first of all, raised this way. I was raised to not take tea for coffee. That's my grandmama saying. I was raised to don't believe everything that people tell you, especially when they're standing in front of you, looking you dead in your eyes. I was raised to don't let people do anything to me or treat me any kind of way. I was raised that way. I was raised that the only reason, and I know it's not biblical, but the only reason you turn the other cheek because you got slapped and your head turned, but now it's time to come back with that left hook. I was raised that way, okay? And then on top of that, I chose jobs that actually were basically started off as jobs for men. I was in the military once I got out of high school. So that only toughened me up, and I made rank so fast. I want to say I was a 22, I was a E5. By the time I turned 22, I was already E5. And I think I was a 24-year-old E6. So I made rank fast, which meant I had people under me that was in their 30s, right? And at one time, I had people under me that was in their 40s because I had made platoon sergeant, because the sergeant major said he knew I could do it. And so what happened is I have always had to be firm and always had to stand my ground, and I've never been raised to let people push over me. And so what that becomes, okay, well, a strong person like that. Oh, not to mention, y'all, I was a deputy sheriff for over 15 years. So I couldn't show any fear. I'm riding inmates up and down the road. I'm making arrests, warrant arrests, and arrests, if possible, on site if I saw something that was breaking the law. So I could not show any fear, and I did not show any fear. I remember when we were taking this criminal, I mean, I forgot what he did, and I don't want to make anything up, but he was already sentenced to prison, him and the wife both. And they had a pact that if they got the chance, every opportunity, they would try to escape. Every opportunity. Okay. Now, they had already went to prison, so we had to go get the husband. I went to get the husband, and the husband kept trying to make an opportunity for him to escape. And I told, at some point, first, he had to use the restroom. So because we knew what their pact was, and I forgot who told her, I think one of the other inmates told me. And because we knew exactly what they were trying to do, we made it our business never to stop at a rest stop or a gas station. We always had to take them to another jail where we pull in the Sally Port, and you have the gates and everything up and stuff like that. So we made it our business to always make sure that they are in a secured area. And so he kept asking, can I use the bathroom? Can we put over here and put over here and blah, blah, blah. So I just told him, listen, I understand. I understand what you're trying to do. I said, but let me explain this to you. I'm going to take you to a jail so you can use the bathroom. Don't ask me to stop at another side restaurant or anything else. I said, because I carry a full magazine and one in the chamber. This is what I told him. I said, and you are a convicted felon. I will not hesitate to start this investigation. If y'all know what I meant. Because I'm not in the mood to be playing. You were not going to escape on my watch. By no means necessary were you going to escape. And you know what he did the rest of that trip? He shut up. He sat back and he enjoyed the ride. So I have always had to be hard. I have always had to be firm. And that makes people uncomfortable. But I can't change my being or who I am to make you comfortable. And this is what I tell my listeners. You cannot change to make others comfortable. Do you know how many times you would have to change to make someone else comfortable? You can't do it. Be who you are. Either they accept you or they don't. And what happens? Yes, they will have their story of you, and they would take it to other people, and other people are going to judge you based on what someone else said. And then when they get to know you, they have to reevaluate the whole situation because now they like you. They understand why you act the way that you do. They understand that this person was upset because they could not manipulate you. Excuse me. Stay hydrated. This person could not manipulate you, so they start this false narrative on how you're such a bad person, on how you can't go and get along, and how you cannot be dealt with, and you are so controversial, and all that stuff, and blah, and blah, and blah, and blah. And the bottom line is they try to take advantage of you. You told them no. Wasn't happening. Not today, not nowadays. And that is what they couldn't take. So they took it back and told their story. And guess what, people? Some of them are still telling their story. And I advise you that when they tell their story to you, you shut them down, clamp down, call them a lie to their face. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'll tell a person quick, you, sir, ma'am, or whatever, do not know what you're talking about. I've just said it a few months ago to somebody. one of our leaders in this area. I just told her, you don't know what you're talking about. What you've done is fail for the narrative. You should know better. You know how people are. And this is what you come to me with, something about me, something that happened with me, and you going to tell me what happened? Kick rocks. Get out my face. I don't care who you are. You don't know what you're talking about. And that is just how I am, people. And people will judge you because you're a straight shooter, because you don't hold any punches, because you drop the hammer. Let them judge. But because you know that's what people do, don't you do it. Don't you do it. You judge people based on the treatment that they give you. Because let me tell you something. I may have something going on with someone else and I act like they don't exist. That does not mean I'm going to treat you that way. And because they come and say, oh, she just so nasty and she's bigoted and uppity and tall corn and all that stuff, that's how they perceive the fact that what you did to me was not acceptable and I do not accept you in my space. That is how they perceive that. So they go out and try to tell that. So you will perceive it the same way. And the thing is, that individual, and in this case, the example is me, I have nothing against you. I'm going to treat you with nothing but respect. I'm going to show you love on top of love on top of love. It is your partner that came at me in an ill-mannered way, and they got an ill-mannered result in return. To have a friend, you must show yourself friendly. And to have me as a friend, you have to be respectful. And don't lie. Do not lie to me. Do not lie on me. I'll still deal with you, but it's going to change. It's going to change, and there is no hard feelings. But a person, my mother always would say, if you lie, you'll steal, and if you'll steal, you will carry a double hockey sticks. My mother will always say that. You have to be very cautious of a person that will lie like a dead leaf. You have to be very cautious of that type of person. And God forbid that you tell a lie on me, because that right there is the way that people get you in trouble. Liars will get you in trouble. They will get you hurt, have you entangled in so much controversy that you don't even understand first how you got there, and you don't understand how you're going to get out. And it all started with this, because someone decided to tell a lie. Excuse me, y'all, I mean to point with that finger. But it all started with this, because someone decided to tell a lie on you. Listen, I run from that. I run from that. I'm telling you. I don't fear nothing. I don't fear anything, but I am cautious of a liar. I despise people who just consciously lie. Now, we all may mix up the truth at times. I'm serious. It's a possibility that you can mix up the truth, misquote or whatever. But to just sit there and tell a hot-faced lie, come on, y'all. Beware of these type of people. If you know that's what they do, say less to them. Don't say too much to them or say around them. I want them to be uncomfortable around me. I don't want you comfortable enough where you will go and tell another lie on me. Be very uncomfortable around me to say anything or ask me for anything. Be cautious of those who tell untruths. Okay? And a lot of times, the untruth, the lies, the falsities is what will go like wildflower or wildfire through the community, through whatever organization that you're in. People love controversy. They love it. And the lies will hit the ground running before the truth ever will. And that is why I say, always judge people on your own accord. Get to know who they are. Ask them questions and judge them on your own accord, because people want you to believe whatever it is they want you to believe, because misery loves company. And if they don't agree with this individual, they don't want you to agree with this individual. Stop thinking to be a person's friend, you have to think like them. See, my friends know that, yes, I consider you a friend or associate or whatever, but I have my own mind, and I can go over here to your enemy and they can still be my friend or associate as well, and I would not allow them to talk about you. I would not entertain anything dealing with you or yours with this person over there. And when you make it known that you are not to talk to me about my associate or my friend, everything is gonna be okay. It's when you're that type of person that takes this bone and carry it over here. See, a dog that brings a bone carries a bone. So if you're coming over here, a person coming over here with you and bringing you something from over there, know that they're doing the same thing. But if a person is over here with you and they're telling you, let me stop you right there, you're not going to talk about this individual to me, because you know I hang with them and I do the same to them for you. And then they understand, no, she's not talking about me over here, because she won't even allow me to talk about them when she's with me. And that is the difference. And that is how you tell when a person is loyal to you. You don't get to choose my friends, but I will let you know and let them know that they will not put you down in front of me. I used to do it with my family member. You're not going to talk about my family members in my presence. I don't care who you are, how much money you got in your pocket, how nice your suits look on you. You will not talk about my family member in my presence, because the questions is raised now. It rises up. When they were talking about me in front of you, what were you doing? Were you talking about me? Were you agreeing? Were you silent? Did you not trust? That's the question right then. You just sat there and listened. Now, it's different when you and the person they're talking about don't have a relationship, or you don't get along, or this, that, and the other. That's different. I sit there and I listen and I learn, because a lot of times what you're saying about that individual, you probably would say the same thing about me if I wasn't sitting here. You learn. But when you are loyal to someone, you do not allow your friends on the other side to disrespect them in your presence. And all that takes is either you letting them know you will not disrespect this person, you will not talk about this person in my presence in that manner. And then you excuse yourself, because you cannot tell anybody how to talk or what to say out their mouth. You move out, you excuse yourself from the conversation. And that is why I can deal with everybody, because I know how to eliminate the issue by moving out swiftly. I understand that. I would not allow anybody to bring me into their battle. I can make my own battles. I won't let you make my battle for me. And that is why I encourage everybody to judge people for themselves, for yourself. You never know the true story. You never know what happened in the beginning, the foundation of the dysfunction. You don't know. And they're going to always, a lot of times, a person that are at fault is always going to have a narrative that makes them look good. They're always going to act like they didn't do anything. It all of a sudden just happened. Because see, let me tell you something. If anybody tell you about love and tell you that love don't do them, and tell you that love don't bite her tongue when she's talking to you, I guarantee you they did some shiesty stuff to me. They did some shicey stuff to me, and instead of me cowering up like a little poodle, I went berserk. I let them have it. I let them know that I am not the one. What you not going to do is play with me. I done said something to them. And so Now the narrative is to put out that I'm not a person that you can deal with and can't get along with. And that's what they do. Learn to judge people for yourselves. You know, I be talking to people now because y'all know that I'm running for school board. And I'll be talking to people, and I'd be so surprised when a lot of people are just so open-minded. I'm so used to being around closed-minded people, people that allow people to just tell them anything, people that, you know, they make their assumption by what they were told by someone else. And so to get around people that think for themselves and be like, yes, that's supposed to be the way you do it, or you do what you have to do to get what you need to get, and I don't let people dictate to me. Oh, to hear people say that is so freeing. It's so freeing. It is so freeing, and I love it. I respect it, because we're all supposed to, once you become an adult, you're supposed to, at some point in your life, make independent decisions. I would take heed to your recommendations, but the decision will ultimately be mine. And I don't need you to try to force anything on me. And to see people that change like the wind because someone else has made a decision, and now that decision is their decision, I pray for you. I pray for your indecisiveness. I pray for your weakness. I pray for your need to want to be accepted. I do. I pray for you, because you have to realize that either they're going to accept you as you are, or they're not going to accept you. But either way, doing what they tell you to do is not going to make them like you anymore. And it's so sad when I see people trying so hard to fit in, when I know the truth, when I know that as soon as you leave the room, you are the topic of discussion. I've seen it. I've been around it. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that someone didn't teach you that all you need is faith. And all you need is belief in yourself, self-confidence. All you need to know is that you affirm you. You validate you. And it breaks my heart when a person cannot self-validate. And this is what I try to teach people. Self-validate. Self-validate. Push yourself, your own agenda. And that way, when people turn on you, you can stand tall and say, it's okay, because I got me. You may not have me, but I have me. When people talk about you, you can say, I got me. They may not have me, but I got me. Okay? When people try to come against you and shut doors on you, I got me. I got me, because I know that my future going to be better than my past. And I know that if it's not for me, it won't happen, because the best is yet to come. I got me. I don't care what man tried to do to me. It is not going to work. No weapon formed against me is going to prosper. But I got me. Stop allowing people to push the narrative, to push their narrative on you. Find out for yourself. Everything on Google is not real, but a lot of stuff is. Find out for yourself. Introduce yourself to people. See how they rub off. Sometimes the person that's talking about them may be correct. A lot of times they're not. But find out for yourself. And always have you. Thank you for joining Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. Remember that God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself. And then you can go on and love someone else. Until we shall meet again, may you be tremendously blessed.